Hey, I decided to make, I'm jumping it off quick. I decided to make a lot of y'all boxing purists and all y'all people that think you know about boxing a little mad, right? Jake, the problem child, Paul, just won another fight, right? He's 9-1. Another back-to-back first-round KOs. A lot of people don't like him, not simply because he's not a good boxer. Y'all don't like him and his brother because how they literally went from nothing to making millions of dollars. And there's also other things that people have the right not to like him about. Have they been annoying? Yes. Have the Paul brothers done very stupid things in the past? Yes. Are they very unlikable to people who might not know them? Yes. But a lot of people don't like Jake Paul boxing because they think he's messing up what boxing should be. Jake Paul has brought a lot of eyes and attention to boxing that have not been there. If you've watched, Jake Paul is for more fighter pay benefits. Most of the fighters have now figured that out and actually like Jake Paul. A lot of these guys that are now doing crossover fights from MMA and YouTube or whatever is because of Jake Paul. Jake Paul has brought attention to there's a lot of money for guys to come on over, even from, like I said, the UFC side to make money. Ask Francis how much money he made in the UFC and how much he made fighting against Tyson Fury and now what he's about to make against Anthony Joshua. A lot of people say, oh, well, Jake Paul, he's rigging all of his fights. You know that is illegal to do in boxing. So you're telling me Jake Paul is big enough for people to knowingly know that he's doing this and nothing to happen to him. So if that is true, that tells you, let's just say it is, that tells you how big Jake Paul is and how important he is to boxing. If boxing would allow that. I doubt that's true. But let's keep moving forward. Jake Paul, he needs to fight a real fighter. Of course he fought Nate Robinson and some MMA guys, UFC guys and retired guys, and Anderson Silva. Then he lost to Tommy Fury. And then he fought, he had fought before that Tyrone Woodley twice. He just fought two boxers, one that was like 9-1, 10-1, and the guy he beat yesterday was 17-2. He needs to jump up in competition. Mind you, he's fought 10 times, right? So if you know about boxing, you know that's not how it goes. But let's go ahead and show y'all what, let me click this real quick. This is what happened yesterday with Mr. Paul. Obviously, let's go right here.
There's the right that lands. Borland right now looks dazed and confused. Jake looking to end it right here, right now. And they stopped it. Round one, knockout.
Strong's landing everything.
Boom, right there. Okay then. Ooh, a lot of people don't like Jake Paul. Like I said, it is what it is. Another first round stoppage last night. Well, everybody says he needs to fight a real boxer, right? Well, Jake Paul is on 3, now going 4 years of boxing, right? So he didn't do amateurs. He wrestled back in the day. But he's on 3 years of concentrating on boxing. Now let me show you something. Let me stop sharing that screen and present another screen to you guys. Right about here. Let me present this one to you to put some things in perspective. Y'all see this man right here? His name is Saul Alvarez. You might know him as Canelo. Let me scroll down for you because this is one of the best guys to do it. Look at fight 1. Look who he's fighting. 0-1. 0-1. A debut. And then 0-0 in a tie. 3-6. 2-2. 0-1. 4-5. 0-1. Debut. 4-5. 2-6. 16-3. We get up here 8-21. 3-7. 4-15. 5-17. Hold on, DP. These guys are the best of the best. Y'all are fighting that little competition. Hold on. Let me keep going. Because, see, I'm not a guy that I don't get in my feelings. I just like to be objective. And I like to go with stats and facts. And not because I don't like a guy. I like to say, oh, okay. Let's go to another guy that we think might be one of the best to ever do it. Floyd Mayweather Jr., 50-0. Let's see what his first 10 fights look like. Debut, 1-1, 6-3. Debut, 9-9. 19-8. 12-15, 12-3, 1-13, 14-19, 14-11. Hold on, these guys have hundreds of amateur fights and fought in the Olympics. Well, okay, Floyd. Now let's go to somebody else. Mike Tyson. Am I saying Jake Paul is as good as Floyd Mayweather? Oh, they making me log in. Dang, I knew they was going to do that. Well, that's cool. Whatever. Mike Tyson's fights were no different. So y'all get the point. The list goes on. If you know boxing, most of these guys through their first 20 fights fight nobody because they don't want to risk losing. Go to Mike Tyson. Go to Devin Haney. Go to Gervonta Tank Davis. Do your own research and you'll see everybody does this. Canelo just turned down a $60 million fight. And David Benavidez was willing to take $5 million just to fight Canelo. Canelo turned down $60 million. Y'all said Floyd ducked. This is boxing. UFC has it right. The best have to fight the best because they do rankings. Boxing has always been like this. The better the record, the O in the record, you can sell fights. Jake Paul made $47 million last year. The only two people that made more, according to the boxing outlets, and these are people that literally do the contracts and get the back end information. One was Anthony Joshua and the other was Canelo. So Jake Paul, because y'all are pressuring him, wants to go fight somebody that he has no business. Mind you, he's been doing this for 3 years. I just showed you what Floyd and Canelo were doing in their career, and they've been fighting since 5 years old. Canelo went pro at 16. Devin Haney was fighting in Tijuana. Go look at Tank stuff. Stop being mad because Jake found a cheat code. Once again, he is not as good as Floyd. He is not as good as Canelo. But the fact that y'all want him to go fight a guy that might be 30-0 in these champions when he's 3 years into boxing, 10 fights in, and I'm showing you what Floyd and Canelo were doing 18, 15 fights in, fighting dudes that are 1-13. Y'all don't know about boxing. It's about honing your skills over time while not trying to take a loss so we can get to the pay-per-view, so we can sell the fight, so we can become a champion. It's not about being in your 8th fight trying to fight a world champion and taking an L because that backtracks your career so much. But yet y'all are mad, literally. Canelo and Floyd, Tyson, Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis, some of the best in the world right now, were fighting lesser guys with double the fights of a Jake Paul. And they had been doing this since they were 5 years old, and this is the only thing they knew how to do. Y'all aren't mad at who's Jake Paul's fighting. Y'all are mad because Jake Paul is fighting and making $47 million a year. Like I said, I don't got no dog in the race. I don't know Jake Paul, but I'm keeping it real with you. And hey, y'all done messed up because y'all done let me figure out how to get on this type of style for my podcast, and I can show you the stats and the facts, and you can look it up. Stop hating on this man and learn about boxing. I just showed you two of the best. And if you go look at everybody else, pretty much 99% of the fighters, they're ducking and dodging and building a career. While you're building your record, you want to build how much better you're getting at the same time. You don't be Floyd Mayweather Jr. and fight 5. No matter if you won the Olympics, went to the Olympics, how many amateur fights you fought, you're not fighting a veteran guy. Even as a Floyd Mayweather Jr., as a Canelo Alvarez, as a Mike Tyson, as a Devin Haney, as a Gervonta Tank Davis. So if you want to hate on Jake Paul, I have no problem with that. But just say I'm hating because I'm mad that this kid at 25, 26, whatever he is, has figured out a way to live a better life than I have, and I haven't figured out that cheat code that he figured out. Because that's all it is. Or you just don't know nothing about boxing, but DP done showed you. But guess what? I already know some of y'all are still going to get on here and argue the facts and the stats that you can look up. The best of the best were fighting weaker competition than Jake Paul. Now, let me think. Do you think the guy that was debuting in their fight was a better combat fighter and boxer than even a Tyron Woodley? No, I'll give you the Nate Robinson and the Ben Askren. Do you think the guy that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was fighting that was 1-13 in fight 13 was a better combat fighter and even boxer than Anderson Silva? I doubt it. Because if you put Anderson Silva or Tyron Woodley against that 1-13 guy, I guarantee you they would have won. Am I saying Jake Paul is fighting the elite competition? No. But I'm telling you at the same time, Floyd and Canelo and Mike Tyson was not either through 10 fights. Learn the game before you start talking about it. Like I said, DP just here to give you stats, facts, and you can argue because I'm quite sure most of y'all are because y'all going to be butthurt. But Jake Paul, you're mad at the money the boy's making. That's all it is. Because if he wasn't making a lot of money and being flashy, and he was making $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 like the rest of these fighters, y'all wouldn't be mad at him. Y'all mad that he was able to jump in boxing and parlay his brand into a bigger fight. These other fighters that come from UFC and even the boxers on the undercards, guess what? They're making the most money when they fight on Jake Paul's undercards. Amanda Serrano, she's making $50,000 at fight. She is 34 and 35-0 when she was with before she got with Jake Paul. She'd have made 7 figures in a single fight with Jake Paul. So once again, because I'm going to have to keep saying it because y'all going, so you're saying he's good as Mike Tyson and Floyd? No. I'm saying he's taking the same path that every other great, every other average, and every other bad boxer has taken, because that's the route and that's what boxing calls for. They don't make the best fight the best like the UFC. They let you duck, dodge, and build your record, as you see with Floyd, as you saw with Canelo. Y'all lucky they didn't let me go to Mike Tyson. I was going to give you Devin Haney. I was going to give you Gervonta Tank Davis. If you get under these comments arguing, just look yourself in the mirror. Because once again, you can go look at all your favorite guys. If this maybe exception of maybe one that got in the ring a little earlier. Go look at the scrubs they were fighting to build their record. I just told you Devin Haney was fighting over in Mexico and Tijuana so he could build his record from 16 and up. He fighting in bars. The fighters coming in at 35 years old, drunk, out of shape. Mop them up, 1-0. Mop them up, 2-0. Now I built this record. By the time I turned 18, I already had 16 fights, 17 fights. Come on, bro. You seen the difference in Ryan Garcia and Tank when they got in that ring together. You know why? Because Ryan never fought anybody. That's why he was throwing that same hook. That's why his technique was so bad, because you can get away with that when you're not fighting superior competition. But hey, go ahead. Get on there and argue. Feel butthurt. But I showed you the facts, the stats. Go look up all your favorite boxers. The only exception might be is a little back in the day they might have got with it a little earlier. But in present, modern day boxing, that's not how it is. Just told you Canelo literally turned down $60 million to David Benavidez 5. And think about this. This is Canelo after making hundreds of millions of dollars don't want that fight because what it does to your record in your career. So why would Jake Paul, because y'all mad that he's making all this money, go fight somebody that's going to mop him up, that's been boxing since 5, got 2 world titles? Of course he wants the Canelo fight because that's going to get him a super bag. But he has to build his record in his skills to get to a Canelo. Now, if you get Canelo right now, cool. I'll take the butt whooping and I'll take the super bag and I'm probably out of boxing. But if he ever wants to get Canelo, let's say after he retires, an exhibition where they both gonna get paid, he can't have 5 losses. Just like you can't have 5 losses and want to be a pay-per-view star. Learn the lay of the land before y'all start talking. Once again, Jake Paul ain't my homeboy. I love what he's done and the opportunity that he's took and figured out a loophole, because you would do it too. Stop hating on the boy and learn the sport, because y'all are literally acting like he's not doing what 99% of boxers did to build their career and also do when they're the champ. When they're the better guy, they're still scared to fight somebody that might beat them. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy on IG, YouTube, Facebook, giving stats and facts that some people don't like to hear. It is what it is. Like I said, go look it up. You tell me what other boxer didn't take the same road as Jake Paul. Yeah, he's fighting UFC guys. I told you. Nate, Ben, out of there. Tyron Woodley, go put him against some of those guys that was debuting versus Floyd and them, the 1-13 guys. There's guys that I didn't even get to scroll up to that some of these greats were fighting in Fight 15 that were like 12-37. But let y'all tell it, they all fought world champs in fight number 5. Man, I'm out, bro. I'm tired of giving y'all all this. Y'all better learn something, bro. That's why it's called Listen to DP, because I'm going to learn you something real quick. We out.